We have zero free will.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone is operating like a robot.
Yes. We do not have free will.
Wait a minute. No.
With the way you're set, you are a preset. Think of yourself as a program.
You have never voted.
Yes. No, mathematically, the concept of democracy in its current form is not functional.
So no.
It does not represent the will of the people. Event A happens because of the previous events in time. Everything has previous events that affected it and caused it to happen. Actually, since the Big Bang.
Since the Big Bang.
Yes.
Everything
was predetermined. Your existence, and
so
you sitting here,
that stuff has been
wearing GTA glass was predetermined. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the In R5 podcast, or In Room 5. So you just know what to search on YouTube. For those of you who have had trouble finding us, I'm your host, Noah Jira, and this is co-host
Ian Kakoza, your boy.
Yeah, we're here at the Makerere University Innovation Hub studio, as usual. Yeah, as you can see. Today we have a very...
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Here.
We've been busy.
But we dropped a video.
But
you guys refused to watch. Anyway, let's put that aside. We dropped some missing footage, but you guys didn't watch it. Seems you want the real episode. So
maybe I'm also busy. Like, I think it's a busy world.
Yeah, it's a busy world. You know. So today we have a very interesting topic, a debate that came up in the previous episode, and we said we would revisit it.
Some previous episode. I think it was about the episode which never launched.
Actually, the episode never launched.
Yeah, the episode that never launched. Yeah.
So the debate is: do humans actually have free will? So, do humans have free will? Ian, what do you think?
Do we decide what to do?
Yes.
Where to be?
Did you decide to come to Uniport?
Did I decide to put on these glasses? Oh, I have no free will.
What's your answer?
My answer? Me, I think it is... No, I was thinking because it's shocking. Like, you know, telling someone you have no free will.
I did tell you that. I asked you, do you have?
I feel like I have.
You feel like you have?
Yes, there's a bit of me which has free will, and there's a bit maybe which can happen by chance. For you, what do you think?
I think we have zero free will.
No.
Yeah.
So you think... Wait a minute.
Yes.
So you think everyone is operating like a robot? Or
yes. You are... First of all, we need to define what we think free will is. Free will is the ability to make a decision that makes a difference to the way things were supposed to happen. Say, if I made this decision, this thing will happen instead of this thing. That's by that definition of free will. We do not have free will.
Wait a minute. No, you're saying if you decide.
And your decision...
Do you mean free will affecting also the external environment?
Yes, affecting the external environment.
No one can control the entire external environment. No.
Yes, no one can.
Yes.
But you...
I'm talking about me saying, let me hold this phone.
Exactly.
It was already programmed.
Yes.
To even say this.
Yes. Your will has no effect on events. Events happen because they are supposed to happen that way.
So no. You think even what's going to happen tomorrow, what I'm going to do tomorrow, whatever is going to happen, it is already programmed.
Actually, leave alone even on the deeper level, physics-wise or whatever. Even if
First tell us the deeper level, the physics-wise.
As opposed to the basic level.
The basic... what do you start with? What would people find? Okay, first start with the basic one. Then...
Yeah, even if you look at the basics, think about yourself. First of all, you right here. The language you're speaking, English, you speak it because the colonizer colonized this entire country and made you speak English. You didn't decide to speak English.
That makes me feel bad.
The way you look, your voice, the fact that you have a beard, everything was programmed in your genes. Your temperament, attitude, intelligence, the way you respond to the environment, all that is written down in your genes. So almost a large part of your phenotype and your behavior are all written down in your genes, simply. And you can't stop yourself from being that person because it's coded in your physical body that
phenotypic characters, characteristics which appear on us.
Yes.
Height, weight, what,
everything is
everything,
eye
color.
Even where you were born.
That's one I believe it can be the DNA. It is
the
DNA.
So if you are not intelligent, you would not know what DNA is, and you would not believe that. So you saying those words is because your genes coded you to be intelligent, and maybe you were fed well as a kid and your brain developed fully.
No, thanks for the compliment that I'm intelligent, but but when you talk about the phenotypic characteristics we have as human beings,
yes.
Let me say the height, the color and stuff, all that stuff. Okay, yes, I say, yeah, they're encoded in us before. The moment the sperm fertilizes the ovum, meiosis, mitosis starts to happen, especially during meiosis there. Okay, I've gone. So
don't get too
okay, cell division. Whoever wants to find out, you can go into cell division. But me deciding this wasn't there when I was an ovum Noah.
You wearing those glasses.
There's no way.
You keeping
There's
that
no
beard.
way I was an ovum. I'm sorry, a zygote. Then I already knew what I was going to do, what glasses. I would dress.
You were predisposed. You being exposed to a certain environment. You, with the way you're set, you are a preset. Think of yourself as a program. When you put it in a certain environment that is predictable, its behavior is predictable. Have you heard of the twin studies? There are twins who are separated.
Twin studies?
Yes, there's a certain study by biologists, where they separated twins at birth. Of course, it was accidental. But eventually, these twins met up later on. They discovered they had similar ways of speaking. They had similar senses of fashion. They named their dogs the same thing. I think they even married women with the same name.
The twins were boys?
Yeah, they were men, boys. This is a very famous study.
They named the same dogs?
The dogs had the same
got name. Almost the same clothes?
Yes. I think even they had similar jobs.
So, wait.
But the environments, of course, were not so similar because they were split at birth. But their lives still turned out very similar because the environments had some level of similarity.
So the decisions we make and the interests we have
heavily genetic. That's on the basic level. That's on the basic level. So you might feel like, oh, I am deciding to do this.
I am deciding, Noah. I have the will to choose.
You don't have the will.
I can choose what I want and what I don't want. I can decide to go.
So my question is, a person with your gene makeup, if we got them and we dropped them in the same circumstances as you from birth and we trained them on the same data your brain has been trained on, don't you think that person will make the same decisions you will make? Is it possible to make a copy of you?
I don't think.
You don't think it's possible?
I don't think.
So if we made a copy of you, down to every cell, every electron, with all the information encoded, and we put them in separate whatevers, wouldn't that guy make similar decisions to you? If you believe that's possible, then you have no free will.
No, I think, do you know why I feel like it is impossible? I feel like even those twins, I need to look into that experiment and see whether...
the data was properly handled.
Okay, the way I believe, a lot of things affect us when we are growing. From infant, from childhood to 6 years, 10 years, and adolescence, puberty, and all that stuff. Different factors, the light you see, the music you listen to, the wind, even the wind blowing. Do you know it affects it? Kinda causes at least a 0.00 effect.
Yeah,
0.01 effect on you. Everything affects you, and I don't know. Because in the same way, there is no way we can replicate the things which happen to me. It will require a lot. It requires like a quantum computer.
Okay, let's leave that alone.
A quantum computer.
This is the hubris of man.
What's the hubris now?
Hubris is like thinking you're more than you are. Think of it like pride, maybe, of thinking that you're greater than you are. That's called hubris. That's the term. So this is the hubris of man. We think we are special as human beings. But let's go down to like lower animals. Say, pick something
amoeba.
Like... No, not amoeba. That's too low.
That's a lower
Let's pick a cheetah. Okay, I'm saying lower than us.
But when it comes to as far as consciousness and
okay, you accept a cheetah is not as intelligent as us, right?
Yes.
So these cheetahs, think of them. the way their societies are organized and they have to be solitary, then think of lions or elephants. Lions existing in prides, and elephants also have those family groups led by the matriarch that they move in. All this is encoded genetic behavior that they have to do. Think of bees. Go down to lower animals. Bees, the way they care for the queen at all, like they have to get
put
honey.
This code
the young.
in the bees, man?
It is
and all that
DNA.
stuff?
It's DNA.
Well, at what point?
Evolution
at what
coded them.
Okay.
Evolution
I'm an
coded
evolution,
but you're also
guy,
skeptical of
No,
your
no,
own
no. I
theory.
call it evolution with guidance.
Anyway,
Because like evolution happened,
let's not
but being
reignite
guided. Okay,
that
let's
debate.
not go back to evolution.
Yeah.
But
But basically, all these animals are coded, and even if you drop them in isolation, they will return to what their base makes them do. So even you as a human being, you may be on a slightly more complex level. So yes, you are partially operating on logic, but most of the time you are just an animal. Human beings are not logical. Speak of elections.
Oh,
yes, this is how
you want to talk about?
There was a presidential debate recently between Kamala and Trump. So, of course, not much happened, though Trump underperformed in this debate compared to the last one where he caused Biden to retire. But, yeah, Kamala performed better than people expected. There are even conspiracies that she was listening. But examining the whole electoral process in the USA, think about how people are polarized. They just stick on one mindset. I recently watched a video on elections.
No, I believe hypnosis is possible.
It's possible. Hypnosis is possible.
You watched a video on elections?
Yeah. So there is this guy, this YouTuber I usually watch, who any curious person should watch. He's called Veritasium.
I know Veritasium.
Yeah, you must know Veritasium.
Yes.
So Veritasium's most recent video, one of his most recent videos, is about elections and democracy. Is democracy possible? So Veritasium realized that democracy is not possible.
So we have never had democracy.
Mathematically,
we have never voted.
Yes, no, mathematically, the concept of democracy in its current form is not functional.
So no.
Does not represent the will of the people.
Wait a minute. Should you give the... Okay, I'm so interested in that. Let me first even... I don't know. Wait a minute. Democracy. The government of the people, by the people, for the people. People go vote for their president?
Yeah.
Why are you not?
You know more than the Greek philosophers.
If they rig votes. No. Okay, are you talking about democracy when votes are being
mathematically
rigged? Or mathematically,
even it functions.
Let's say no rigging of votes.
Yes.
No one is stealing votes. No one is doing what. No one is whatever.
Yes.
Even if people go and vote fairly.
Yes.
That's not democracy.
The result has not represented their will. All the current systems we have of voting do not represent the will of the
No, you're going to make human beings feel like they are.
I'm not.
They are being driven by the environment.
I was also shocked. I was also shocked watching Veritasium's video.
Okay. We shall get back to your demo. I think it's a very long story.
It's a long story, yeah. But let me shorten it. In short, mathematically, every kind of voting system you get, whether it's ranked choice voting or whether it's this normal voting we do here in Uganda where the highest percentage wins, there's a way it skews the voters' decision making and makes them not vote for who they want to vote for. So
what?
So the system never represents the will of the people. So far.
No, first. What? No, explain that again. What the system? What?
The system skews people's decision making.
What is skewing?
What happens is
what is skewing?
Skewing is pushing in a certain direction. Remember skewed lines in mathematics?
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, skew.
I'm just using it in the general sense.
So I was wondering. So when people vote or before they vote,
in a system like the one we have here in Uganda, where the person with the most votes wins, basically what democracy does is it makes people dismiss all the people who they think have no chance of winning. So they don't vote for who they really want to vote for. So power concentrates in the two most powerful centers. And it creates a bipartisan system, which exists in most of the former British colonies, because mathematically people are going to ignore the people they think want to win.
People.
Then they will pick out of the two so-called strong people
so they are not,
who don't represent
their will. They are not choosing who they want, but power
and now
has made them dissociate with those people.
Yes.
They feel who want.
Yeah, and now there's a form of state capture where the two so-called biggest parties or biggest people in existence end up always winning the vote. And if you enter the system of these people, say like in America, the Republicans or the Democrats, you can get voted without anyone liking you and become a president just by being a member, and the elite fronts you. So that's no longer democracy. You're being chosen
That's
by
no
a small
longer
elite.
democracy.
Then, so Veritasium.
But no, okay.
Veritasium goes on mathematically to show why even other systems of voting, like ranked choice voting, also don't work mathematically. And
so people have
still
never
an unsolved problem.
have never had democracy.
Yes, it's an illusion. So
democracy is an illusion.
Yes, your choice.
No, you're going to make people lose hope. Democracy is an illusion.
Yes, it's a dictatorship.
Crazy.
A few people choosing.
So Noah, when you talk about free will and choosing what you're going to do and what you'll do, what, in the minds and the neurons and whatever helps us to think and choose, be logical and do all that stuff. Are you trying to mean that things there are random, or they are already like programmed?
They are preset.
Like there's already a set, like they are already preset.
According to our current understanding of science, current physics, the laws of physics currently are generally deterministic. Event A happens because of the previous events in time that can affect it, which caused that event to happen. So everything has previous events that affected it and caused it to happen. So every particle in your brain, being in its current state, got in that state because some other particle or some wave or some other piece of the universe caused it to get into that state. So
since you were a kid,
actually since the Big Bang and the universe started.
Since the Big Bang.
Yes.
Everything
was predetermined. Your existence and you sitting here
that stuff has been
wearing GTA glasses was predetermined.
As the stars were exploding.
Yes.
Supernovas and all that.
Somewhere in that cloud expanding from the Big Bang was written, in future Ian will wear GTA glasses on in R5 podcast.
The way things were moving, all those components which were going to form me came knowing. Or they didn't know, but at the end, it was like history was written immediately. The Big Bang started.
Yes, but okay, not necessarily.
Okay, but no,
yes.
we watched
Superdeterminism.
We watched what is this? The Cosmos.
1 second. Is the camera rolling? Okay.
Space-Time Odyssey. You remember when did I watch it with you? I watched some documentary about quantum physics and that stuff.
But you go ahead and say.
Yes, sir. The randomness. So why they said we can't measure an electron because when we try to measure, we change its characteristic because we have measured it. Yeah. The only way we can know its properties by not measuring
collapse
it.
of the wave function. Yeah. Now this is a bit of a different. It's a tangent.
No, it's not a tangent.
Yeah, I know what you're trying. Okay, go ahead.
Do you really know what I'm trying to say? We can't understand. You can't say we don't understand have free will.
So let me explain how
at quantum level in our brain, things are random, are happening in a bizarre.
So let me show you. Let me show you the difference here. Free will. When we say superdeterminism, we do not mean that there is an individual who can determine the future. This is a thought experiment called Laplace's demon.
Laplace is what?
Demon. Before.
No, where do you get these things?
Okay, leave that alone. Before we came up with these probabilistic theories like quantum theory to describe parts of nature, we had perfect Newtonian mechanics describing the universe and relativity, which is a properly deterministic system. The universe is like clockwork, and it's possible for a being so intelligent and powerful that can hold all the information of the universe in his head to determine the future of the universe. That's the universe we lived in before quantum.
It is what?
It would be possible in that universe a deterministic
Before
universe
quantum.
before quantum mechanics.
When we're using
Now,
Newton's laws, but there were
yes.
only three.
Now,
What do you mean by basing on Newton's laws?
Newtonian mechanics.
What was
Newtonian mechanics.
No, what are those now? Okay.
Newtonian mechanics is that system where we believed that it
body
was a
remains
world
in
system.
state of motion.
Yes, basically.
When acted.
And those
Action
laws
and
can
reaction
be
are opposite.
yes,
Huh?
and those laws can be expanded to describe motion of bodies, to describe how planets orbit other things,
Yes.
to describe generally how the universe works.
So
Everything
how does
is a
that
particle.
show that everything can be, there's a being
Even
that
light
can
was
have
a particle.
everything?
So in
No,
that
it's no
universe,
longer particle,
those laws are not probabilistic. The laws in Newtonian
There's
mechanics.
no probability in them.
Yes, there's no random chance. So someone can get all the information of every particle in the universe and
know
apply
it.
the laws, and he's a very smart
Control.
being. Not control. Know the future before it happens. Exactly. Know that you're going to put on those GTA glasses without...
No. Wait a minute. No.
This is before quantum mechanics.
No, what I'm not understanding
Yes.
is that you're talking about, he will know every movement of the particle. He will know its end and its beginning.
Yes.
And he will predict that
Yes.
by the end of 5 years, this particle will be here, this particle will be here.
Yes.
When we talk about particle, we don't mean only visible particles.
Yes.
It can be atoms.
Anything.
So he can see a position of every atom and predict that within time, which we can do on a smaller scale, right?
We cannot.
On a smaller scale.
Now let me show you
If
what.
I have to
what
see- but we can't.
Let me show you what happens.
We can't.
So after quantum mechanics, we now know such a being is essentially impossible within. If it is within the universe, governed by these laws of the universe, it can't, because it cannot observe the universe, because the act
Laws
of
act
observation
on them.
alters things, and the universe has a certain quantum randomness inbuilt. There are processes that just happen randomly. Like, for example, a uranium atom decays at random. You don't know which uranium atom is going to decay. Remember, the uranium has half-life and it decays off at some point. So you find that you cannot predict which of the uranium atoms is going to decay right now, which one will decay in a billion years.
I think maybe we don't know because we don't have the
No. The reason we don't know
strength.
is because it's not about
Computer power.
computers. Just because the laws of quantum mechanics introduce that randomness, they are probabilistic laws. Even if you held all the information, which you cannot, because by trying to hold the information, you would influence the universe. So you cannot know. That's the uncertainty
When you
principle.
try to know, you influence the universe.
That's the
That
uncertainty
means
principle.
if you're trying to know and observe, you will not know the future.
You will not.
Because
if you're in the universe, you can't know. This is called Werner Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. By trying to know, you influence the universe, and you no longer know.
By trying to know, like just
Heisenberg's uncertainty principle puts a bound on the amount of information you can know about a particle. If you try to know more about its position,
it changes.
You will impart energy onto it, and you will change its velocity.
You change its velocity.
Yes, or its momentum.
Yeah.
So momentum and position, you cannot know both precisely. If you try to know more about its momentum, i.e. its mass and what velocity it's moving at, you're going to change its position.
So no, we don't know the actual mass of an electron.
Mass, actual. Now that's difficult to say. We cannot know the actual mass of a specific electron at a specific time. When we try, but we know the rest mass of an electron, say.
When it is chilling.
Yes, but remember, an electron that moves, chill, man? It's just a theoretical position, rest mass. Of course, electrons are never chilling.
That's why we saw an electron is a wave.
Yes.
And even if we are made out of
by quantum mechanics,
by quantum mechanics,
it's both
we are a wave.
It's neither a wave nor a particle.
No. Electrons are waves. They are made out of electrons.
They are not waves.
We are a wave.
Electrons are not waves. Electrons are both waves and particles. They are a certain mathematical... Okay, our current theory of what an electron is a probabilistic mathematical construct.
Okay,
so it's a wave, yes, but it's a probabilistic wave. So it's not... Sometimes it's a particle. There's an uncertainty of it being here or here.
Or here.
There's a probability.
Certain energy
it's
level.
A scattered probability. So it's not necessarily a wave, not necessarily a particle. So
we don't know what it is.
Its construct, we know what it is by quantum mechanics, but
we don't know what it is.
Yes, and
because
by trying to know specifically,
by trying to know, we
where
influence
it is.
it.
Yes, that's why it is a probability, because when you try to know it, so in short, let's cut out the.
But okay, let's say
debate
this
alone.
being, for you guys, you're trying to know why using instruments,
a Laplace
what,
demon,
using light energy. This being is observing without using energy.
It's
and not
impossible.
Influencing.
You cannot observe if you are in this universe and you are governed
okay,
by the laws of
observation.
this universe.
People might think observation is just looking at things and observing.
Even when you look at things, yes, that's observation. When you look at this table,
there
is an influence going on because photons had to hit the table, get to your eyes, for you to look at the table. So
if you know how
I
to
turn off the
influence
lights, you have
if
to switch off all the lights in this studio.
for this thing to know what it really is.
Yes.
But when you look at
when you turn off the lights on the studio, you can't see it anymore. Photons have to come, cause changes in this table.
So the only way we can know what this table is really is in the dark.
Yes, which is important. And still in the dark we can't know because photons are our connection to the
So
world.
there's a probability that this is not how the table has to look like.
Yes. This is just what the photons convey about the table. Even when you try to touch it, you don't really touch it necessarily. So this is just our external
that
feeling.
one. We have never touched
anything. Yes.
But guys, we have never touched. Do you know you have never touched anything, producer? That one, at least I know it.
Yeah.
So electrons repel each other.
Let's first get back to the explanation for what you are saying probabilistic.
So
the difference,
this is interesting.
I'm explaining.
This table is not. This is not it. Yeah. Photons are influencing.
Yeah.
Photons are influencing. So if I want to really know this table, I have to switch off the lights.
And then you won't know. So apart from that,
so we shall never know.
We'll never know. So what I was saying about your being the Laplace demon, which knows about the entire universe, it's impossible if it is governed by the laws of the universe, unless it's an extra universal being that, I don't know, maybe a god of some sort that doesn't operate on this level. The programmer behind the computer, yes, that one can know everything.
We are not being controlled by the laws we typed in the computer.
Yes,
JavaScript,
exactly. Yes, we can't be.
So we
that's
can
the being. So that's the being that could know. But within the universe, such a being is not possible. But that being not being possible, someone in the universe can't predict the future perfectly. Doesn't mean that the future is not predetermined. Just that we in the universe can't tell what that future is. But that future is still set by all the laws of physics.
You're saying we don't have free will.
Yes.
We sit and
that
think
future exists.
And you ponder.
There's an illusion of thinking.
Thinking doesn't exist.
It exists. Yes, but that illusion of thinking gives you it's an illusion of free will. It gives us comfort. Makes you feel like you're having free will.
Yet
but
you're doing nothing.
Are spurred on by.
No, if I sit down and I'm like, I feel like eating fries or going to Mama Ken at Africa to eat food.
You walked past and you knew that Mama Ken existed, and that's what placed the thought in your mind.
At that point when I'm making a decision, the decision is already made, but I think I'm disturbing myself.
Yes.
So after saying Mama Ken, I feel like I've made a decision.
Yes.
Yet literally, I don't have a decision.
In terms of what I'm saying is, yes, you can feel like you're making decisions. Yes, it's true. But the future, by the laws of physics we know right now, is predetermined and set already, just that we in the universe cannot figure it out because of the inherent nature of the universe. We can't figure out that future because we are the universe, so we can't figure out. But that future is set.
No, what about if we are really part of that universe? Then we can't say we don't have free will. We don't know really what's happening. We don't know what's going on.
We know from what we know.
Don't know.
This might change in the future.
You said when we try
from
to measure,
what we know.
try to observe, things change.
Yes.
What if, does thinking also trying to observe my brain? Am I changing patterns of neurons and synapses at an atomic level?
Yes, in your brain things are changing, atoms are changing.
Yes.
Yes.
So what if I'm directing them on how to align themselves and make a logical decision?
But remember, your brain, think of your brain as a computer, a basic computer.
It's not a basic computer.
It's the most complex computer in the known universe.
It's not even a computer. It's something else.
Anyway, think of your brain as a computer. Imagine
your brain, not my brain.
Think of my brain as a computer.
Yes.
There are programs subroutines that are already set, and I respond to the environment based on these subroutines. For example, when I need food, like my brain commands me to go get food, or my nervous system, you're the one who knows these systems. There are certain already basic responses that are set into me as an animal. Then leave alone the animalistic level. I have memories, I have learned experiences, I have different things.
Yes, no, I don't think
skills
help
that
us.
are set in me. They're
They
like
help us
subroutines.
choose, they don't
Yes.
dictate.
It's
the
complicated.
future.
It's complicated, but my choices are based off these routines that were learned from the environment or that were pre-programmed from my DNA, my genetic heritage.
There's something we
So
don't know
as the
in
computer,
the brain which makes decisions. No,
as
we shall
scientists,
find out.
we only go by the current evidence we have. That current evidence, the day we get evidence for that something extra in the brain, or something that lets us have free will, then I'll be so happy. Also, I also love having free will and knowing my future can be changed. But for the moment,
Wow.
the future is set.
Wow.
The weather of tomorrow is set.
Wow.
We cannot just determine that. Like for this specific
No,
universe,
you're going to make me feel like I'm not making free will. May I have free will? For
whatever
you-
makes you comfortable,
for
sleep
you.
well at night, but you don't have.
All right,
reality.
let's wind up. Let's wind
Yeah,
up.
let's
We
wind
shall
up.
continue. We shall. I don't know.
Yeah, go
If
ahead
people
and,
have
and
this-
thank Unipod.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subs. You remove that, man. Don't embarrass me. Thanks for thanks for subscribing. It's your boy Ian Kakoza, your host and co-host
Noah Jira.
Noah Ajira. It's in R5 podcast here at Yusuf Lule CTF.
Please subscribe.
Makere Unipod. Please subscribe.
Yes.
Occasional
To
guest.
see more of the GTA character.
GTA car. Today
Ah,
I
we
came
also
with
accept
somebody-
guests.
Yeah, we came with a.
We accept guests.
I don't have free will, I think.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Exactly.
Because I didn't decide to
Look at your
embarrass
actions
myself.
right now.
I didn't decide to
It just
embarrass
happened.
myself. It just happened.
Yeah.
Do we have free will?
We do not.
Okay, see ya.